day of November 22nd, 1963 is a day to remember. John F. Kennedy turned off Main Street by Dealey Plaza in Dallas at around 12:30 p.m. All of a sudden, bullets struck out across the plaza. Bone brains of John F. Kennedy splattered all over his wife. The JFK assassination is the most greatest and grandest of all murder conspiracies. There are countless theories, believable and non-believable. There are some respected theories, and those are the ones I'm going to talk about. One would be Lyndon B. Johnson, his vice president. There's also a theory of two shooters, which is probably the most realistic theory that they've thought of. And the other is the CIA being involved. Lyndon B. Johnson. Many believe him to be a culprit. Although he did not pull the trigger, people believe that he was the man pulling the strings, and Lee Harvey Oswald was the puppet. He was a rival candidate against JFK in the election, and after John F. Kennedy was elected, Johnson was appointed vice president. This was kind of weird because he was his running mate, but right before that he wasn't. They were going against each other for the election. John F. Kennedy said that this was to unify the Democratic Party, but other people believe that it was because Lyndon B. Johnson knew about Kennedy's lady friends. He also feared that of being dropped out of Kennedy's ticket in the 1964, which would have happened just a couple months later. In the book Blood, Money, and Power by Burr McClellan, he states in the book that there was a smudged fingerprint of Lyndon B. Johnson's associate Malcolm Wallace in the 6th floor of the Texas Bookstore Repository, which is where the shooter probably took his shots, Lee Harvey Oswald. The night before, Lyndon B. Johnson was talking with associates, and his mistress said that those sons of female dogs will never embarrass me again. There's no proof of anything meaning that, because that's all she heard, but we do believe that that has something to do with it. Another conspiracy is the two shooters, which I believe is probably what is going on. It's a widely accepted theory, and a poll in 2003, I think by CNN, said that 60% believe this theory out of 200 people, and there are a couple facts to back this up. Oswald, when he shot, after he was taken in, he was tested for a paraffin test, which is the gunpowder. When you shoot, the gun that he had was a manufactured Carsano. It was found at the Texas Bookstore Repository on the 6th floor. He tested negative on the paraffin test, so they couldn't find any gunpowder on him. And they didn't really know if this was a true test to see what went on. But after a couple FBI marksmen shot the same exact gun in a tested facility and they took paraffin tests a couple hours later, they tested positive. There's also 2 points of entry on John F. Kennedy, and the governor sitting by him also got shot in all different locations. On Kennedy, one was shot in the temple, and one was shot entering from the back of the throat. This couldn't have been made from the sixth floor of the Texas Bookstore Repository after many tests. That's where the silly theory called the magic bullet theory comes into play, where the bullet changes in its direction and velocity in midair. Another conspiracy is the CIA. The CIA conspiracy has some evidence, but there are some breaking facts. Oswald had no file of working with the CIA, but in 1995, an Army officer named John Newman finds evidence of the CIA and the FBI tampering with Lee Harvey Oswald's records that they had on him. The problem is that he says that there was no file. There were 3 men called the 3 tramps that were suspected out of all these people. E. Howard Hunt worked in the Bay of Pigs mission that failed, and Kennedy wanted to shut down that department of the CIA. they probably didn't want that since that was their job and they were agents for that department. Frank Sturgis was another CIA agent that had been seen at the John F. Kennedy in Texas and Dallas, and he wasn't supposed to be there. He just wasn't supposed to be there. No one hired him for being a Secret Service agent that day. Chancey Holf is a third person. He was claimed to be a double agent for CIA and the Mafia. That day, he was supposed to be there. He was supposed to play as a fake secret agent because Kennedy didn't want a lot of secret agents around at that meeting, which, if he would have wanted that, then maybe he wouldn't have gotten shot. He probably would have, though, because no one suspected it to happen. The John F. Kennedy assassination is really a conspiracy to remember and think about. We did not have the technology then to try to find out what actually happened. But there are a lot of conspiracies, and I think that the two-shooter one is probably what happened. Lyndon B. Johnson is probably not true, and the CIA one could quite possibly be true. There are way more conspiracies, probably 50 conspiracies of who killed John F. Kennedy. So what do you guys think? That's it.